Well, I always wanted to be Jim Cantori, so here's my chance. I am doing this BS report in the snow on Tuesday night. Well, just because I always wanted to do a stand-up in the snow. And it's kind of appropriate, don't you think? Because on Wednesday, when this airs, we'll be 3 weeks away from spring training. Yeah, so while all of this is falling and we're trying to clean up all this mess here and people are driving like that around middle Georgia like they're going to crash and kill someone because they barely know how to drive in the dry weather, much less the snow, let's hold on to the fact that we're 3 weeks away from the Braves going to spring training. Now, a lot of people are a little worried about Alex Anthopoulos, wondering, where's Alex been? Where is he? He hasn't made a big move so far this offseason. Yes, it is a little troubling, right? Because this team kind of needs a little help. And there's still time. I mean, by the time I get inside from this cold weather, they may make a trade or sign a free agent. It could happen at any time. But we do have to remember a couple of things. Number one, this team last year lost a lot of players because of injury. Well, let's see. Sean Murphy on opening day in the 6th inning, right? Game 6, it was Spencer Strider. Then you had Ozzie Albies missing a chunk of time. Austin Riley missing a lot of time at the end of the season. Then Michael Harris and, of course, Ron Acuna. So it was a mess last year, and getting those players back this year could mean a whole heck of a lot. There's no doubt about that. So that's going to be something that we have to watch, and there's going to have to be some people that will have to step up and do some things, like Ian Anderson, who, of course, came back last year in the minor leagues from Tommy John surgery. He's got to get back to the way he was when he was pitching in the World Series in 2021, and he would have pitched Game 7, but the Braves won in Game 6, so it didn't matter. But there are a lot of people that are going to have to step up and do some things. And yes, Strider and Acuna may not be there for the first month, so people like Jared Kelenic are going to have to do well. And look, the Braves are banking their hopes on Tim Hires, the new hitting coach, to do some good things with this team, to help Sean Murphy get back on track offensively, which, of course, last year after he got back from his injury, he was awful at the plate. Well, with Travis d'Arnaud gone, they need Sean Murphy to come in and do the job. And maybe Orlando Arcia will listen to someone and he'll actually get better offensively, although if all the other bats do well, he'll be okay if he's not very good offensively as long as he plays good defense, right? That's very important. But they can't afford to have Ozzie and Riley and all those guys miss a significant amount of time. That's just not going to work for this team because if so, they will finish in 3rd place in the National League East. Both the Mets and the Phillies have done some things to help themselves. And, of course, nobody may be as good as the Los Angeles Dodgers. But we've got 3 weeks until spring training. So once all this melts, let's look forward to a little baseball coming up in February.
Justin Dirks, 41 NBC Sports. Clear, accurate, to the point.
Right now, get 2.99% APR for 36 months on a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid. Toyota, let's go places.
Molly leaving was one thing, but then I thought Mom's osteoporosis might keep us stuck on the couch. No way.
If you have postmenopausal osteoporosis and are at high risk for fracture, you can do more than just slow bone loss. You can build new bone in 12 months with Evenity. Evenity is proven to significantly reduce spine fracture risk.
She said the Evenity she's taking builds new bone. Builds new bone!
Evenity can increase risk of heart attack, stroke, or death from a heart problem. Tell your doctor if you have had a heart attack or stroke. Do not take Evenity if you have low blood calcium or are allergic to it, as serious events have occurred with Evenity. Signs include rash, hives, swelling of the face or throat, which may cause difficulty in swallowing or breathing, muscle spasms or cramps, numbness, or tingling. Tell your doctor about severe jawbone problems, as they have been reported with Evenity. Report hip, groin, or thigh pain. Unusual thigh bone fractures have occurred with Evenity.
Building bone? We dig it.
Want stronger bones? Ask your doctor about Evenity.
Febreze. Hi, I use Febreze Fade Defy Plug.
And I use this.
Febreze has a microchip to control scent release, so it smells first day fresh for 50 days.
50 days?
And its refill reminder light means I'll never miss a day of freshness. for Breeze Plug.
When severe weather strikes, count on 41NBC and the 41NBC AccuWeather team to have the very latest live storm updates to keep your family safe. That's what we mean when we say 41NBC is clear, accurate, to the point.
In high definition, this is 41NBC News at 6.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us for 41 NBC News at 6. Before Aaron has a final look at our forecast, let's see what's coming up next on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. The sweeping order by President Trump, the federal employees placed on paid leave, and a crackdown on diversity initiatives, and police shootings, the use of force case before the Supreme Court and its potential impact on police officers nationwide. Plus, Hall of Famer at last, one of baseball's newest Hall of Famers, and his reaction when he got the call. Those stories and more are straight ahead on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. Now let's get another look at our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Aaron Lowry.
Thanks, Monica. In Forsyth, it's been a roller coaster with this interstate today. We were seeing it all backed up again, 45 minutes ago on northbound, and now look, smooth sailing once again. 41 Skyview is brought to you by Volume Chevrolet. Southbound hasn't had any issues, at least in this stretch. I'm sure there are other areas where there have been, like 475 earlier this morning. But yeah, we're already down to freezing, and it's going to be a bitter night. Refreezing is likely, especially on back roads that may still be a little wet.
That's right. But before we go, we wanted to share a cute picture from a viewer, Nikki Corbin of Bon Air. This is Lainey Kate and John David enjoying another snow day. I mean, they look so excited to be in the snow, and it looks like it's just a great day overall.
I remember when I was a kid, growing up in Cobb County in Georgia, and we, like Houston County, were always the last one to cancel. You'd sit and watch the news in the morning, waiting to see your county on that ticker. And I mean, until 2014 in Snowmageddon, there were several times where the threat was there and they wouldn't cancel. But after that, 2014,
looks like they got their snow
They
day.
even the next hint of snow threat, boom, they canceled. Changed things up, but it definitely brought a lot of excitement to just not have to worry about school.
That's right. If you do have any pictures of your snow days, feel free to send them in to news@41nbc.com for a chance to see your pictures featured on our show. We'll be back at 11.
Hi folks, Scott Smith for BMW Macon, and I'm excited to show you our new all fully electric BMW lineup. First of all, we have our popular i4 that comes with a 3-year, 36,000 mile complimentary maintenance, and if you need something a little larger, our mid-size i5, and then our luxury flagship car, the BMW i7. So see us today at BMW of Macon, home of the ultimate customer experience.
The Cherry Blossom Festival is looking for the 2025 Cherry Blossom Queen, Princess, and Legacy Queen to serve as enthusiastic ambassadors for the Cherry Blossom Festival coming March 21st to March 30th. The program is presented by Planters First Bank and Wesleyan College, and winners will be selected based on an application, essay, references, and a panel interview. Applications are due by January 24th. New this year, winners will be crowned at a royalty coronation on February 27th. For more details and to submit an application, visit cherryblossom.com.
Justin Dirks, 41 NBC Sports. Clear, accurate, to the point. Aaron Lowry, 41 NBC AccuWeather. Clear, accurate, to the point.
Tonight, two major stories as we come on the air. The explosive new wildfire forcing evacuations in Southern California and the dangerous deep freeze across the South. First, that new inferno in Los Angeles County rapidly spreading to more than 5,000 acres in just over 2 hours. The race to escape, more than 30,000 under evacuation orders or warnings. The fast-moving flames threatening homes, buildings, even schools. Red flag warnings in effect. Our team in the fire zone. Also tonight, the deadly once-in-a-lifetime winter storm paralyzing the South. In Atlanta, vehicles abandoned, the ice covering the roads. New Orleans seeing a record-breaking 10 inches of snow. We're tracking it all. The deadly shooting in a high school cafeteria in Nashville, one student killed. The shooter, a 17-year-old, also dead. The chilling scenes at the latest school to fall victim to gun violence. The growing fallout from President Trump's January 6 pardons, the far-right leaders walking free. The head of the Proud Boys at Miami Airport, his threat of retribution. The Oath Keepers founder seen at the Capitol. And on immigration, the president's plan to send more than 1,000 troops to the border. And bound for Cooperstown, the legendary pitcher in tears after finally getting the call he's waited a decade for.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening and welcome. As we come on the air tonight, a new major fire is raging out of control in Los Angeles County. Within just a few hours, the fire in the Castaic area north of L.A. exploding to over 5,000 acres. Santa Ana winds generating gusts over 30 miles per hour with stronger winds forecast into this evening. At a local high school, a chaotic evacuation. Students rushing to safety against the ominous glow of the fast-moving inferno just over the horizon. Mandatory evacuation orders are in place with many structures threatened. Aerial tankers have been dropping fire retardant on the advancing flames, while some residents arming themselves with garden hoses to protect their homes. This latest wildfire striking a region still reeling from the devastation of the deadly Eaton and Palisades fires. Liz Kreutz is on the fire line tonight with the latest on what they're now calling the Hughes fire. Liz.
Yeah, Lester, this is a fast-moving fire. You can see the flames here coming down the hillside. It's been moving acres by the minute. You can see the smoke right now, all fueled by these strong winds. This is what officials have been worried about and warning about all week.
Tonight, a new fast-moving wildfire torching the hills north of Los Angeles.
If you're able to, you want to get out right now.
Mandatory evacuation order.
Forcing evacuations in the town of Castaic, including homes on both sides of Interstate 5 and schools, sending students running. The Hughes fire igniting just after 11 and quickly exploding in size to more than 5,000 acres with zero containment.
This neighborhood is under a mandatory evacuation order, but instead of getting out, many residents are doing this, hosing down their homes and property.
My wife and my animals were ready to go.
The fire fueled by single-digit humidity, bone-dry brush, and strong winds, relentless conditions that have plagued Southern California now for more than 2 weeks.
How worried are you about all this?
Very,
Yeah.
obviously.
Since the devastating Eaton and Palisades fires demolished more than 16,000 structures, tonight new red flag warnings leaving the county on high alert. As previous fire victims continue to struggle, now a new concern about identity theft. Judy and Stefan Zweig say they're the victims of FEMA fraud.
Everybody over the weekend was saying, okay, you're at your lowest. This is it. No, we weren't quite at the bottom. Maybe now we are.
When the couple went to apply for federal aid, they say they were told someone already had, using Stefan's name, address, and social security, leaving them locked out of the process and unable to access any disaster relief.
You just feel sort of abandoned. You just feel like, you know, what more could happen? Right. What else is going to happen next?
FEMA telling NBC News in a statement that despite safeguards in place, unfortunately, bad actors sometimes exploit disaster situations. Victims of fraud should contact FEMA's hotline. Just one more layer of anxiety for a state on edge that continues to burn. Liz Kreutz, NBC News, Los Angeles.
And in the South, at least 4 weather-related deaths have been reported as snow, ice, and record-breaking cold create paralyzing conditions this part of the country rarely, if ever, sees. Priya Sridhar is in Atlanta, where millions struggle to get around today. Priya.
That's right, Lester. Local officials tell me they've received thousands of weather-related calls. And even though traffic is moving right now, the concern is that temperatures are expected to drop below freezing, which could create more icy road conditions.
Millions in the South in the grips of severe weather in a region rarely slammed with snow. Just outside of Atlanta, slick roads stalled cars, some hoping the sun would melt the ice.
Get your little spot and just wait it out. You know, I'm not saying it's simple, but it's smarter.
Drivers at a standstill on this highway in Georgia for more than 12 hours.
We're gonna be here a minute.
In DeKalb County, officials issuing a state of emergency, urging residents to shelter in place.
We have also treated more than 500 tons
of roads with sand, of course, salt and calcium chloride. So this is a very serious condition that we're facing.
Atlanta's airport hit with just over 1 inch of snow. Airport officials say some TSA officers struggle to get to work. Wait times for travelers up to 90 minutes. Passengers finally moving at Tampa's airport, where dozens of flights were delayed and canceled.
Had a day, it's been 3 days, and it's only been like a day.
In Jacksonville, Florida, officials say 3 bridges are now open again after multiple crashes closed them. In Louisiana, cities are blanketed in snow. A historic 10 inches swept parts of New Orleans overnight. Tonight, tens of thousands remain without power along the Gulf, as many worry major disruptions could continue for days to come. Priya Sridhar, NBC News, Atlanta, Georgia.
And Bill Cairns is here. And Bill, we're going to talk about the historic freeze in the south in a second. But let's start with the winds and the fire danger in the west.
Horrible timing, Lester, for the Hughes fire. Santa Ana winds are returning, and they're going to get even stronger later on tonight. 10 million people included, including where the Hughes fire is located, all the way down outside of San Diego. Specifically for the Hughes fire, later tonight, the firefighters are going to be fighting this blaze with like a strong tropical storm winds around 50 to 65 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts. We are going to have extreme fire growth, and hopefully they'll keep those aircraft in the air fighting the blaze. As far as the cold goes, today a lot of the snow melted, but it kind of got slushy. Tonight it's going to turn to a rock once again. The ice is going to form. Very dangerous, treacherous conditions, Lester, till tomorrow afternoon when it begins to finally melt away.
All right, Bill, thanks for the update. Moments of terror today at a high school near Nashville as a 17-year-old shooter opened fire in the school cafeteria, killing one student and wounding another before taking his own life, according to police. Jesse Kirsch now has late details.
These were the chaotic moments deadly gunfire erupted inside Antioch High School, followed by the realization of what had happened. Police say just after 11 a.m., 17-year-old Solomon Henderson, armed with a pistol, opened fire inside his Nashville area school's cafeteria, killing 16-year-old Jocelyn Correa Escalante. Police say a bullet grazed another 17-year-old boy before the shooter killed himself.
We believe there's some materials out there, and if maybe they were seen, maybe and said something, maybe more could have been done.
Investigators do not yet know if this was a targeted attack, but say there is no ongoing threat to the community. Hours after the attack, students evacuated by the busload. This teen says the shooter was her classmate.
He was not a kid that you would think would do something like that. He stayed on task. He did his work. He was quiet.
One mother describing a call from her panicking son.
He said, "Mom, they're shooting." I said, "Where are you?" And he said, "I'm outside now. I'm running." I said, "Just run and hide. Stay low. I'm on my way."
They were later reunited. The son says he heard gunshots and screams.
We ran behind the garbage cans. We saw people getting shot on the ground, bleeding and stuff. It's really heartbreaking because it's like just seeing someone you know just die like in front of your face like that.
It breaks my heart that it's normal. It should not be normal.
Police also say a student who was not shot fell and injured his face. Tonight, the search for a motive continues. Lester.
Okay, Jesse, thank you. Now to President Trump, announcing more dramatic changes tonight, including ending federal government diversity, equity, and inclusion programs that he views as discriminatory. Here's Gabe Gutierrez.
From the government agencies that oversee air travel to public health to criminal justice, the debate over diversity is exploding throughout the country. Making good on a campaign promise tonight, President Trump is slashing all diversity, equity, and inclusion programs across the federal government.
We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based.
The president signing an executive order his first day back in the White House.
This is a big deal, merit. Our country is going to be based on merit again. Can you believe it?
And overnight, this new government memo saying DEI policies result in shameful discrimination and directing federal agencies to place all DEI employees on paid leave by this evening. After the murder of George Floyd and the social justice movement it sparked in 2020, DEI programs flourished across private companies and the federal government.
The values of diversity, equity, and inclusion are the core strength of America.
But since then, conservative activists have railed against the programs. And after Trump's re-election, major companies like Walmart, McDonald's, and Meta, Facebook's parent company, have scrapped their DEI programs.
It's one thing to say we want to be kind of like welcoming and make a good environment for everyone. And I think it's another to basically say that masculinity is bad.
One of the president's executive orders directs the attorney general to submit recommendations for enforcing federal civil rights laws to encourage the private sector to end DEI. Another out today revokes an executive order signed by President Lyndon Johnson in 1965 that the Trump administration says mandated affirmative action. Tonight, the Congressional Black Caucus calling Trump's changes an attempt to take our country backward.
Diversity, equity, inclusion programs is really teaching us how to all work together in a positive way for a common goal.
Former Facebook employee Bari Williams helped create one of the company's canceled diversity initiatives.
People think that equates to lowering the bar. It isn't lowering the bar, it's casting a wider net.
It's not yet clear how many federal workers this will impact. Some career employees may have job protections that make it harder to fire them. Lester?
All right, Gabe Gutierrez at the White House. Thanks. And growing fallout from President Trump's pardons for the January 6 defendants. 2 far-right leaders convicted of seditious conspiracy walking free. We're also learning new details about the president's crackdown at the border. Peter Alexander is at the White House.
They're the haunting images of the armed assault on the Capitol 4 years ago that resulted in more than 1,100 convictions. Tonight, one of the most prominent, Enrique Tarrio, head of the far-right Proud Boys, who was found guilty of seditious conspiracy, seen at Miami airport after his release under President Trump's sweeping pardons. Tarrio earlier with this ominous warning.
I'm happy that the president's focusing not on retribution and focusing on success, but I will tell you that I'm not going to play by those rules. The people who did this, they need to feel the heat.
Republican Lisa Murkowski tonight rebuking the decision to pardon violent offenders.
You just blanket pardon all of them without consequence? I think that sends a horrible message to our law enforcement officers.
Spotted inside the Capitol today, Stuart Rhodes, head of the far-right extremist group The Oath Keepers, who was just released after serving less than 2 years of an 18-year sentence for directing his members during the riot. The federal judge at Rhodes' 2023 sentencing warning, the moment you are released, whenever that may be, you'll be ready to take up arms against your government. Retired Capitol Police Sergeant Aquilino Ganell was one of the officers injured, telling NBC News it's a betrayal. They were doing the fighting on his behalf. That's the only reason he pardoned them. President Trump telling us he strongly backs police.
I am the friend of police more than any president that's ever been in this office.
We pressed him yesterday.
Vice President J.D. Vance, he said, this is a week ago, he said, if you committed violence on January 6th, obviously you should not be pardoned. Why is your vice president wrong?
Well, only for one reason. They've served years in jail.
President Trump also taking new action to secure the southern border. The White House announcing the deployment of 1,500 active duty military and National Guard troops and the suspension of all migrant border crossings, including blocking asylum seekers from entering the U.S.
And Peter, we've just learned the first law President Trump will sign is also related to immigration.
Yeah, Lester, that's right. The Republican House just passed the Laken Riley Act, named after a Georgia nursing student murdered by an undocumented migrant. That migrant had previously been arrested for shoplifting but was not detained. The new law will require ICE to detain migrants who are arrested for burglary or shoplifting. Lester.
All right, Peter Alexander tonight. Thank you. In 60 seconds, a legal battle over police and deadly force. Was the shooting of a Texas motorist justified? The arguments before the Supreme Court. Next.
Stay ahead of your child's moderate to severe eczema with Dupixent as they welcome the feeling of touch with clear skin and less itch. The #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists helps heal their skin from within. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain, vision changes, or blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma or other medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your child's doctor about Dupixent.
Your shipping manager left to find themselves, leaving you lost. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsored jobs on Indeed are 2.5 times faster to first hire. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
Mornings.
Cough? Congestion?
I'm feeling better. All in one and done with Mucinex Kickstart.
Headache?
Better now.
Mucinex Kickstart gives all-in-one and done relief with a morning jolt of instant cooling sensation. It's comeback season.
All right, we're back now with a potential landmark Supreme Court case. The justice is hearing arguments over a deadly police shooting in Texas in 2016. Laura Jarrett now on the possible nationwide impact.
It happened in just seconds. 24-year-old Ashton Barnes pulled over on the side of this Texas highway. The rental car he was driving believed to have outstanding toll violations. Officer Roberto Felix Jr. appearing on the driver's side door, soon drawing his gun, prompting Barnes to take off, as Felix jumps onto the car's running board and fires, killing Barnes at the scene. Now, nearly a decade later, Barnes' mother, Janice Hughes, hoping the U.S. Supreme Court will change how courts treat these deadly police encounters nationwide.
I really honestly know that in my heart, Ashton did not deserve to die that day. Took a piece of me, an entire piece of me, that I can never get back. I have to learn how to live with that missing piece.
A grand jury declined to indict Officer Felix on criminal charges, but Hughes brought a civil lawsuit that has faced an uphill battle. Lower courts finding Felix did not use excessive force. Their inquiry into his actions confined, focused only on the question of whether he reasonably believed he was in danger in the seconds before he shot Barnes. Felix saying this at the time.
I gotta ask, why did you fire your weapon?
Well, when we started to drive off, I thought that I was gonna get run over.
In arguments today, the justices wrestling with whether to say courts must broaden their inquiry and consider all the events leading up to a shooting, which could include officers putting themselves at risk. Some of the justices appearing wary that could make it more difficult for police to do their jobs.
What's an officer supposed to do when at a traffic stop and someone pulls away? Just let them go?
No matter the outcome, Hughes says she had to fight for her son.
This could be anybody. I could be anyone's mother sitting here right now.
Laura Jarrett, NBC News.
We're going to take a break here. Up next, the major legal settlement and reported big payout for Prince Harry as he ends his long-running legal battle with Rupert Murdoch's tabloids.
Honestly, I was scared when I was told age-related macular degeneration could jeopardize my vision.
Great. One more thing to worry about.
It was all too hard to deal with in the beginning. But making a plan with my doctor to add PreserVision was easy.
PreserVision AREDS 2 contains the exact NEI-recommended clinically proven nutrient formula to help reduce the risk of moderate to advanced AMD progression.
Thanks to PreserVision, I feel better that I'm doing something about it, like millions of others.
PreserVision.
My hair was thinning all around my hairline.
My dermatologist recommended Nutrafol. It's 100% drug-free and clinically tested.
My hair is longer, thicker.
Nutrafol is life-changing for me.
Get growing at Nutrafol.com.
I can't wait for tonight. The kids are coming? Great. No, Uncle Todd is out. Oh wait, he's in? Chris and I broke up. We're back together.
Easy Glide extendable tables, now available at Ashley.
We're finally opening.
Shingles doesn't care, but Shingrix protects. Only Shingrix is proven over 90% effective. Shingrix is a vaccine used to prevent shingles in adults 50 years and older. Shingrix doesn't protect everyone. It isn't for those with severe allergic reactions to its ingredients or to a previous dose. Tell your healthcare provider if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. Increased risk of Guillain-Barré syndrome was observed after getting Shingrix. Fainting can happen, so take precautions. Most common side effects are pain, redness and swelling where injected, muscle pain, tiredness, headache, shivering fever, and upset stomach. Ask your doctor about Shingrix today.
The Thompsons' new front door looks sharp, right?
Did we need to wave her down to tell her that?
No.
No. For a young homeowner turning into their parents, the neighborhood is their life.
I wonder who's visiting the Burks. That's not their car. Hey guys, who's winning? Now, most of the neighborhood uses Progressive for their cars and house.
She didn't ask.
Oh.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto with us.
Here he comes, like clockwork.
Molly leaving was one thing, but then I thought Mom's osteoporosis might keep us stuck on the couch. No way. If you have postmenopausal osteoporosis and are at high risk for fracture, you can do more than just slow bone loss. You can build new bone in 12 months with Evenity. Evenity is proven to significantly reduce spine fracture risk. She said the Evenity she's taking builds new bone. Builds new bone! Evenity can increase risk of heart attack, stroke, or death from a heart problem. Tell your doctor if you have had a heart attack or stroke. Do not take Evenity if you have low blood calcium or are allergic to it, as serious events have occurred with Evenity. Signs include rash, hives, swelling of the face or throat, which may cause difficulty in swallowing or breathing, muscle spasms or cramps, numbness, or tingling. Tell your doctor about severe jawbone problems, as they have been reported with Evenity. Report hip, groin, or thigh pain. Unusual thigh bone fractures have occurred with Evenity. Building bone? We dig it. Want stronger bones? Ask your doctor about Evenity.
Millions of people called us last year in their time of need. Injured, we became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
The stories you need to know.
They just ripped the ATM out of the wall.
The stories that change the way you think.
Were you trying to rip me off?
It's one big party!
Inside Edition.
These are the stories that impact your life.
Inside Edition, weekdays at 4:30 on 41 NBC.
Prince Harry declaring a major legal victory tonight after settling a lawsuit with Rupert Murdoch's tabloids in the UK. Megan Fitzgerald now with more from London.
Tonight, Prince Harry settling his years-long legal battle with a British tabloid, winning a substantial payout and a rare apology. His lawyer calling it a monumental victory.
Today, the lies are laid bare. Today, the cover-ups are exposed. And today proves that no one stands above the law.
The settlement between the Duke of Sussex and Rupert Murdoch's News Group newspapers came hours before a highly anticipated trial was set to begin over whether NGN-owned tabloid The Sun used illegal tactics to score scoops about Harry's life. As part of the settlement, NGN offering Harry a full and unequivocal apology for the serious intrusion into his private life, including incidents of unlawful activities carried out by private investigators working for The Sun. NGN also apologizing to Harry for phone hacking and surveillance at a now shuttered tabloid and for intrusion into the private life of Princess Diana, his late mother. For Harry, the crusade against the tabloids has long been personal.
The goal is accountability. It's really that simple.
And Lester, tonight, Harry's attorneys are now calling for a criminal investigation into NGN. Lester?
Megan, thanks. And up next, he's one of the greatest relief pitchers in Major League history. The emotional call that sent him to the Hall of Fame on his last shot. Next.
This is Steve. Steve takes Voquezna. This is Steve's stomach, where Voquezna can kick some acid, heal erosive esophagitis, also known as erosive GERD, and relieve related heartburn. Voquezna is the first and only FDA-approved treatment of its kind. 93% of adults were healed by 2 months. Of those healed, 79% stayed healed. Plus, Voquezna can provide heartburn-free days and nights. And is also approved to relieve heartburn related to non-erosive GERD.
Other serious stomach conditions may exist. Don't take if allergic to Voquezna or while on rilpivirine. Serious allergic reactions include trouble breathing, rash, itching, and swelling of face, lips, tongue, or throat. Serious side effects may include kidney problems, intestinal infection, fractures, life-threatening skin reactions, low B12 or magnesium levels, and stomach growths. Tell your doctor about your medical conditions, medications, and if you have diarrhea, persistent stomach pain or fever, decreased or bloody urine, seizures, dizziness, irregular heartbeat, jitteriness, chills, shortness of breath, muscle aches or weakness, spasms of hands, feet, or voice.
Voquezna can help kick some acid, and so can you. Ask your doctor about Voquezna.
Mornings. Cough? Congestion?
I'm feeling better. All in one and done with Mucinex Kickstart.
Headache?
Better now.
Mucinex Kickstart gives all-in-one and done relief with a morning jolt of instant cooling sensation. It's comeback season.
And Doug.
You'll be back. Emus can't help people customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. You're just a flightless bird.
No, he's a dreamer, Frank.
And Doug.
Well, I'll be. That bird really did it.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Asthma. Does it have you missing out on what you love with who you love? It's time to get back out there with Fasenra. Fasenra is an add-on treatment for eosinophilic asthma that is taken once every 8 weeks and can also be taken conveniently at home. Fasenra helps prevent asthma attacks. Most patients did not have an attack in the first year. Fasenra is proven to help you breathe better so you can get back to doing day-to-day activities. Fasenra is not for sudden breathing problems. Serious allergic reactions may occur. Get help for swelling of your face, mouth, tongue, or trouble breathing. Don't stop asthma treatments without talking with your doctor. Tell your doctor if your asthma worsens or you have a parasitic infection. Headache and sore throat may occur. Get back to better breathing. Get back to what you've missed. Ask your doctor about Fasenra, the only asthma treatment taken once every 8 weeks. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
The road to the Super Bowl, it is here.
Today takes you inside the game.
I stayed up a little bit last night, watched that game.
And be there Friday as the biggest football fans come together for the ultimate pep rally.
Let's go!
Friday, only on Today.
Is it your plan to deport everyone who is here illegally over the next 4 years? Who do you think is the leader of the Democratic Party right now? Can you guarantee that grocery prices will in fact come down? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Finally, it was his last shot at Cooperstown, and when the call finally came, it brought a baseball legend to tears. Sam Brock with the good news tonight.
This is the call that former MLB pitcher Billy Wagner has been waiting to receive for a decade. It's not a ball or a strike, but a congratulations that the 7-time All-Star will be inducted on his 10th and final try to the Baseball Hall of Fame. We were with Wagner a year ago, when the now Virginia high school coach came oh so close, falling just 5 votes short.
It's disappointing, but it's just how it goes.
That meant one final crack at Cooperstown for one of the game's great closers.
Flew him away at 100 miles an hour.
Pitching for the Astros, Phillies, Mets, Red Sox, and Braves, Wagner amassed 422 career saves. When asked by MLB Network what he's most proud of, Wagner answered his wife.
My career was long and good times and bad times, but she rode that bus the whole way. Without her, I wouldn't be here.
The historic Hall of Fame class also includes Ichiro Suzuki, the first Asian player elected, and CC Sabathia, the definition of an ace pitcher. But this year's induction may be defined by Wagner, a self-described underdog coming from a D3 school, who, as usual,
I'm very grateful.
Closed it out when it counted. Sam Brock, NBC News.
And that's Nightly News for this Wednesday. Thank you for watching. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.
Maybe you could help me out. My insurance won't cover IVF. If you diagnose me and you write me the script, this is medical fraud. She's my sister. Don't I owe her?
Chicago Med, new tonight on NBC and Peacock.
This is me before Sanabello, and this is after.
This year, don't just lose weight. Lose stubborn fat permanently with Sonobello one-visit fat removal.
I wanted the results of a tummy tuck, but not the downtime. I'm so happy with my results.
I'm loving life. I'm loving my body. I'm loving all my loose-fitting clothes.
Sonobello